Namaste children. Welcome to our next class. In last class you learned about changes in our lifestyle, the way of wearing clothes, how it has changed from earlier to modern, and how the food habits are changed. This all you learned. And in today's class you're going to learn about education, how education has changed from earlier to modern, and what you are observing in present day's education system and what was missing in the earlier you are going to learn. So here in the picture you can understand it's the environment of a classroom. Each student is sitting in one bench and they neatly have the school uniform. They wore school uniform. They have separate desk for them and beautiful neatly arranged benches were there in their classroom. So, in this way, what are the different changes? How the schools and classrooms earlier, that means your grandfather's, forefathers' time, how the classrooms you can find out from your grandpa or grandma from your home and just note down some points in your notebook. And along with that, you can also learn about this by using your content book, workbook, and the notebook. So the keywords you are learning here are education, education. Education means the process of teaching and learning called as education.
Education. The process of teaching and learning.
So how here a conversation you can see in your content book, you can read this conversation between grandfather and daughter. So granddaughter is asking her grandfather, "Grandfather, was your school like mine?" So you came to my school? No. As when you are like a child, was your school like mine? She asked. Then the answer given by the grandfather, "No, Mona, my school was very different from your school. We did not have modern classrooms like you, or the chairs and tables like you today. We sat on mats on the ground in the open, and our teacher wrote on a blackboard. We did not have a large playground, library, or a canteen like your school has. You go to school by a school bus, but we used to walk for 30 minutes to reach our school because there was only one school in our town. Not many children studied at school in our times. Very few they used to go to the school, and they don't have the buildings like nowadays how you people are enjoying huge buildings, benches, tables, separate rooms for library, canteen, playground. So in those days they used to sit outside in open areas and they used to learn from their teachers. And nowadays you had seen so many changes. Not even more this how Mona school, now your school right now is at home only. Your teachers are teaching technically, you are joining the Google Meets and all, and you are learning the lessons. So there are so many drastic changes in education field. So nowadays, everything available in the net. Any new thing which you don't know, you can ask your teachers, or your teachers are all the time available for you. And even the Google platforms, online lessons were there. So you are learning both the ways, online way, you are learning the new things from your teachers. So there are so many changes in education field, and not only the shown picture, you know a number of changes which you had seen personally in your life. Please note that points what newly you are learning and what changes you found in the education, and you just talk with your parents, grandparents, and write some changes which you found very clearly in your notebook. And now see, we'll do one small activity. Here what you are supposed to do is, you see this tableau column, note down this tableau column in your notebook and find out Mona's grandfather's school how it was and your school. You compare where are classes held. In Mona's grandfather school, where the classes held, open areas outside, there is no building. But nowadays your school have huge building, huge classrooms. Where do students sit? On mats. Mona's grandfather's school, they used to sit on mats. But nowadays you are sitting on benches. Where does the teacher write? On the blackboard. And your school teachers are writing like this, how I am writing, in smart boards. Nowadays, your teachers are writing on smart boards. How many students attend the school? Very few. Mona's father time, grandfather time, very few used to go to school. But nowadays, many are going. It's must ensured for all the children to go to the school. That facility government is also providing. It's compulsory. Children need to go to the school. That is their right. Under 13 years, if anyone go for work in a factory or in any household work when they are doing, that's a crime. Child labor they used to say, and the owner is be punished by the government. So these all are your rights. Going to school, learning new things are your rights. So nowadays many are enjoying their rights. Yes. So, this is all the differences between Mona's grandfather's school and nowadays modern schools. Now, you watch the video to understand more about the changes in education.
In the past, usually boys were sent to school. Girls were asked to stay at home and help with housework. But now, both boys and girls go to school. Now, both men and women work in offices and other places together.
Understood? So, there are nowadays boys and girls equally going to the school, equally doing the jobs. But in olden days, only boys used to go to school and girls used to help their parents in household work. Those days are changed now. Now we will discuss based on your activity, how is Mona's grandfather's school different from your school? Definitely you can write this answer. While Mona's grandfather had open air school with no classrooms, our school is a huge building. Mona's grandfather sat on mat on the ground, but our school has tables and chairs. So these are the answers for the activity which we discussed before. Open air, Mona's grandfather used to sit in the school, but nowadays schools are inside classrooms. Students sat on mats, and nowadays students are sitting on chairs. Mona's grandfather's school teachers used to write on blackboard. Nowadays they are using blackboard, whiteboard, jamboard, smart boards. There in those days very few used to go to school, but nowadays many are going. How has education changed over time? Not many children went to school in the past, but now several children going to school. Now schools have a proper building with classrooms, library, canteen and computer lab where students can study. What are the similarities between schools of the past and present? Schools of both past and present need teachers to teach students, and students still need books to study. So, even it is present or past, both the time teachers are compulsory and the students are compulsory, then only it makes a school. Teachers to teach the new things and students to learn. And now, based on this, we'll try to solve the worksheet of 15.2. You see in the picture, two pictures are given. You need to find out the first picture, is it a modern school or past school or present school? So which is a past school? Open air school is past school. So where you are finding, you write there past, and where you are finding a classroom, that is present. So you just identify both of these pictures, which is past and which is present, find out and write in front of that. So picture A is present school and picture B is past school, because that is open air school. Using the pictures in question 1, write 3 differences between schools in the past and those in the present. So in past, open air schools. In past, the schools are open air schools. In present, the schools are in classrooms. And in past very few used to go to school. Present, many are going to school. And in past, they used to sit on mats, but nowadays they are sitting on chairs. That is one more difference. And one more, in past, very few students used to go to school, but nowadays there are many people are going to school. And one more difference, in past, teachers used to write only on blackboards. Teachers used to write on blackboards. Nowadays, they are writing on whiteboards, how I am writing just now. Smart boards, jam boards, those all nowadays teachers are using. So that is the difference between past schools and present schools. What is similar between the two schools in question 1? Even though it is a past or present school, but compulsory both the areas, teachers are needed, students are needed. Students, teachers, and books. These are the common things, even it is a past or present school. So, understood, children? And after completing this, you just read the lesson clearly from content book 15.2. You read and then try to answer the practice questions which are given in the textbook. Before writing the practice questions, you clearly read the lesson from page number 4. After reading from page number 4, then you answer the practice questions which are given in textbook page 4. So the first one is fill in the blanks, choosing the words from the brackets. Some help box is given for you. You choose the word from the bracket and fill up the blank. So the first one is nowadays students mostly sit on. So where they are sitting? Are they sitting in the ground or on the chair? Yes, obviously they are sitting on chairs. So choose that and write in the blank. And the next one, in the past there were many schools with no students or the classrooms. In the past there were many schools. No, there are many schools with no classrooms. Not too many. Actually, schools are also very less. Many students. The answer is in the past there were many schools with no students. Schools are also less, even the students are also less. Very less members used to go to school, and the school is also for a town, whole town, only one school used to be. And the next one is Leka's father had gone to school as a young boy, but her mother and grandmother had not gone to school. Leka and her brother both go to school now. How has education changed over times? You can understand in olden days very few people used to go to school, but nowadays many are going to school. Maximum people are going to school. That is the right of the children, so many are going to the school. What do you like most about your school? What do you think is missing? So, this is up to you, children. How do you like your school? You just mention in 3 to 5 points in your notebook. And what is missing in your school? What could be a plus point to your school, and what you have to give add up to the school, or the thing which you most like in your school, mention and write neatly, beautifully in your classwork. Thank you.